From a big mile at our last race to the Laconia short track, presented by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys this week, the versatility of the American flat track contenders on full display today here in New Hampshire.
Flat track motorcycle racing. Just to recall what it was like in the beginning, let us take a quick look back at the turn of the century. It takes stout lads like them to go for this kind of competition. It's trials like this that have made the two-wheel little giant the tough piece of mechanism it is today. Take a look at this motorcycle.
Each of today's races draws large crowds from all over the country.
It's a revolution.
Testing and bettering, testing and perfecting. Right on, cowboy.
The wave of the future.
You got a good start anyway.
Yeah, and we'll see how hot I was the whole time.
Every chance I get to race, I enjoy it.
Will you let fear win, or will you rise?
Big one for Jared Mees.
And find victory.
Shayna Hexter takes the win.
It changes the way we look at racing.
No matter what they have thrown at Briar Bauman this year, he has put his Indian motorcycle on the podium. That's why he's the points leader. But Jared Mees has gotten his season back on track by beating Bauman at our last event. The champion will not be denied. Sammy Halbert and the factory Harley team getting stronger every week. Maybe the short track is what Sammy needs to win. Don Gautier's all smiles. He is starting to climb back up the AFT singles class standings. And so is Mikey Rush. These two could be facing off tonight, and one of them could be the points leader by the time this race is over. Jason Wygant joined by AJ Allmendinger here in New Hampshire. And Kristen Beat will be reporting from the racetrack. And what a unique racetrack this is. It's all new.
Man, the Laconia short track, newly built. Construction started in October, just finished a few weeks ago. This is some of the closest racing action we're gonna see all season. A lot of bar banging, a lot of elbows touching, a lot of just intense racing overall. It's gonna be fun to watch tonight.
Always great to have a good old-fashioned short track on the schedule, even if the track itself is actually new. You can see all the work that went in to get this thing going. Located right here on the New Hampshire Motor Speedway property, there's Cameron Smith, the Richie Morris Racing Honda rider on the right, helping with the ribbon cutting, and this is all part of the Laconia Bike Week, 96 years running. Look at this crowd.
Packed house. They love their American flat track racing.
Yeah, when you take this level of people that ride motorcycles and then bring a race to them, you know the crowd is going to be fired up tonight. It makes for a great atmosphere for racing. Great weather, too, to come up here to New England in the summertime. Let's hear from the riders of their expectations of this new event.
It's great being in Laconia during Bike Week. Really hardcore fans we always find out here. They know about flat track, and so it's great to have them here.
It's been really cool coming back here, and especially at Loudon. I grew up road racing here as well. The track's really fun, it's unique, it's going to be rough, so it's going to be really good and exciting for the fans. So I hope everybody is here and is going to have a great show.
Racing in New Hampshire is really nice. It's a very nice area. It kind of feels like home. Just a simple, deep, rough, short track, quarter mile. It should be really good racing.
It's a lot like Michigan. All the green trees reminds me of home. The track's tight, it's going to be fast, it's going to be a show.
It's pretty cool. It's mostly sandy. It's starting to tear up and everything. It's got some decent amount of braking bumps. The more it deteriorates in the main path, the more the outside lines start to come in. A line that might not be the fastest at the beginning of the race could be the fastest at the end of the race.
It's a lot more adrenaline rush. We're a lot closer to our competitors. Got to hold on tight, that's for sure.
Definitely cool to get here, get new fans during a bike week. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Briar Bauman leads the standings, but Jared Mees, that win at the last event, look out.
Two-time defending champion, 2 wins on the season, starting to really get his season on track, trying to track down his young teammate and show who's boss in his team.
How will Bauman perform under pressure? Kristen caught up with him earlier.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. In Kentucky, Briar Bauman was so close to sealing the deal on that career Grand Slam, but this weekend back to a short track where it's kind of an equalizer. The amount of notes that a veteran rider might have developed on a track like this, thrown to the wind this weekend, even playing field for you guys.
Yeah, the short track kind of brings a different dynamic to the racing. We don't have that draft that you play with on the mile, so to be able to kind of go out there and just ride, not have to worry about everything as much, just kind of do what you can do on a motorcycle and let your ability to take course, that means a lot, and I think it's going to make the racing pretty good. It's a new track for everyone, and we're just trying to be the best at the new track.
19 points now separate you and Jared Mees. Obviously, you have the points lead, but how has the dynamic changed between you and the former champion?
It's a little bit different now. We still talk during the week and ask each other some questions, and typically he's asking me questions he hasn't asked before, so I just take that in strides, and we're still good friends. We still understand, and I'm still more than aware that I probably wouldn't be in the position I am today if it wasn't for him, so I keep that in the back of my mind, and we're just trying to do our work every week.
Jared Mees was quoted this week as having said, "I am not going to lose anymore." Does that influence you at all, or do you feel like you have a target on your back at this point?
I think we're starting to get to some tracks that I really, really enjoy, you know? That doesn't motivate me any or anything like that. I'm trying to do my job no matter what the case is, and I think if we do it correctly, we can win, you know? We've been on the podium every race this year, and even the weekends that you think we'd be down and out, and we kind of come back. So I have a great team behind me, and we're just trying to do our job and not really worry about anyone else.
Well, yeah, he only has to worry about himself as we watch our storylines, qualifying highlights. He's got to worry about staying on that bike. How did he save that?
Save of the year. Briar Bauman has it all crossed up. Jason, it's never good when you're on the exit of turn 4 and you can look at turn 3.
Didn't catch a knee or an ankle or anything. Let's watch one more time. That's unbelievable.
Now, what I really like is the Marshall slow reaction here, because at some point, Marshall's going to get hit. Briar saves it. Best part, back on the throttle. Gets back around his teammate, Jared Mees, to show, you know what? This is my race team. I'm going to win this championship. But finishes second to Jeffrey Carver. Carver's first win this year in Semi 1.
Been waiting for Carver to catch fire this year. Davis Fisher, by the way, also passes Mees, so that's not what the defending champ certainly wants out of this one. We go to Semi 2. We always know the 17 of Henry Wiles fast in the TTs. Obviously good in the short tracks as well. Good battle between Bronson Bauman, Sammy Halbert all over him.
Bronson Bauman trying to chase down Henry Wiles, showing a lot of speed, but at the end, Henry Wiles could not be caught on that Indian.
All right, so consider Wiles just as strong here on the short tracks as he is in the TT, so it is wide open. A lot of different riders could win. For Briar Bauman shows just how technical and difficult this track is going to be. That's going to lead to some fun racing. But our singles class is coming up next. Dalton Gauthier and Mikey Rush, they are climbing the charts in the point standings and trying to take it away from the series leader. We'll be right back. American Flat Track on NBCSN is brought to you by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. If you go down, call Russ Brown. By Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas, the entitlement sponsor of AFT Singles. And by Cat Rental Store, the official heavy equipment supplier of American Flat Track. Gunstock Hill Climb, not too far from Laconia. We're racing American Flat Track, so this is awesome. Ryan Wells, 2016 singles champ. Gonna learn hill climbing first. He takes a few runs on a Yamaha 450 motocross bike, then the big 900 triple, and he did make it to the top.
Ryan Wells spent the off weekend racing in the AMA Hill Climb Series. Now, Ryan, I was able to catch some of the video on social media. What was that experience like for you?
Definitely the most out of my element on two wheels I've ever felt, but super thankful that I was given the opportunity, and I'm glad I didn't chicken out of it, because now I definitely want to do more. But yeah, I rode a FC09 triple. So biggest bike I've ever sat on, per se, and had the most horsepower under me. And yeah, whole different world than this flat track stuff. So definitely give those guys a lot of credit after trying it. Extended swing arm, big old paddle tire, and some jumps and just a straight up hill. Basically like wide open until you get to the top, and that was definitely a struggle for me. You know, we use a lot of throttle control and flat track, and yeah, you basically can't have any of that. So yeah, it was definitely different, but I'm just glad I got up the hill.
Also glad to be in the top 5 of the standings, but ahead of that, it's very tight.
Yeah, top 4 separated by 9 points. So far today, Mikey Rush, Dalton Gauthier have really seemed to have the speed outright over the other riders. Let's hear from second and third points with Kristen.
Coming to the short track here today, I'm feeling really confident. I think I can get the job done, and definitely want to put in a solid top 3. I want to be there with the points chase being so close now, and I think I have a good shot at winning, and it's a tough field to beat today, and Mikey's going to be really tough. He's a really good short tracker, but there's a lot of races left, so I think I'll be all right, and just stay consistent.
There's a lot of talent, a lot of good riders.
it's hard to win every race for sure. But like I said, we're taking it race by race and doing what we can do, and we're staying consistent. And I'm more focused on just getting race wins right now, trying to keep doing that. Honda's always been a good short track bike for me. So and the 2019 CRF 450s are awesome bikes. So I think we have a great short track program, and we're moving forward in the season. We started off the year pretty good, and coming into this race, I'm really excited. Coming into a real true short track, because this is what we got at home. So I think we'll be good today, hopefully.
Well, we'll show you qualifying here with our AFT singles storylines, and indeed, Rush was good and Gauthier was good. They started battling immediately here.
Dalton Gauthier with the whole shot off turn 2 was able to keep Mikey Rush behind him the whole semi. These two have been fast and battling it out. We'll see what happens at the main event.
And joining him at the front, Dan Bromley, who finished 3rd in this one. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and points are all right there. Meanwhile, there's 132. That's your points leader. Janish, more of a TT guy. He's happy to make the main. And even better, look at this celebration by the 88 of Matthew Belland. Just making a main for some of these riders is big. And then Jeremy Orr goes down in semi 2.
Yeah, Jeremy going down. You can see how tight this racetrack is. Fortunately, everybody was able to avoid him.
Chad Coase in the lead, but here comes the hill climber. Ryan Wells to the inside of the Estenson Yamaha grabs the lead.
Ryan practicing that shot off the corner down the straightaway, takes the lead into turn 1 here. Chad Coase would fight back, but not get back around him. Ryan Wells wins semi number 2.
Maxwell, a good run. James Rispoli, Cameron Smith, that's top 5. So our main event field is set as the riders are headed to the starting line for it. The fans are pumped because the racing has been great on this short track thus far. Let's send it to Kristen Beat with one more update.
5 points separate Dalton Gauthier in 3rd and Mikey Rush in 2nd in the singles point standings. And as the season progresses, it's clear that Dalton is beginning to develop his race program more strategically. Earlier in the day, he told me that during practice and qualifying, he was holding back. He said, on a track like this that will continue to change, you have to have options and adapt. He followed behind Mikey Rush intentionally to study his lines and make note of where he can potentially outwork him. But guys, that will be hard to do tonight. When I spoke with Mikey, he said he's a motocross guy. This track and continuity is what he's used to, and he has all of that momentum from Kentucky rolling into Laconia. This is a matchup I will be following tonight, guys.
Okay, so both Gauthier and Rush confident going into this one. Watch out for Wells on that Yamaha number 94. Chad Coase on the 49 was also fast in his qualifier. And on an all-new racetrack, you never knew which one of these riders is going to take it. As we have a look at the Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys starting lineup, it's pretty wide open.
It is. You look at Dan Bromley as well, defending champ. Just been consistent this year. Needs to go out there and get a victory.
I feel like the starts have held Bromley back. If he can start up front in this one, maybe he gets his first victory of the season. Janish, your points leader, has been shuffled to the back. This is maybe not the best track for him, so it's an opportunity for someone to grab the points lead. Here we go. Good start for Gauthier in the 122, but Rush drifts backwards. He's just barely inside the top 10. Bromley, the number 1, does have a good run. He's on the inside of Wells looking for 3rd.
The whole shot's so critical. You can see all this dust flying. Clean vision from Dalton Gauthier, already starting to stretch it out.
Good battle between Coase, Bromley, Rush trying to get back in this, but Rush going wide, losing some ground. Ron Borbett, Bromley, the Red Bull Factory KTM, in a good fight right now with Wells. First time we've seen Bromley up front early in a while.
You can see the bikes dancing around there. Wells trying to get the traction down. Dalton Gauthier already stretched out 10-bike length lead.
Yeah, he's got the traction down for sure, and he is trying to check out and grab his 2nd victory of the season. Good battle, though. Bromley's still working on Wells, last year's champ, and the man who was champ in 2016. Where did Rush come from?
Rush, a bad start, started 6th, up to 4th there, knowing that his rival in the points, Dalton Gauthier, is starting to stretch it out.
And Bromley making moves now on Wells. They have gone back and forth, inside, outside in his corners. Finally, Bromley able to lock down 2nd.
Dan Bromley, one of the taller riders in the singles division. You can see kind of using his body to get as much traction as possible on that KTM.
And it looks like he's extended it just a little bit over Wells. Shayna Texter, meanwhile, is Bromley's teammate. She was really good at the mile, struggles a little bit on these smaller tracks, just trying to get in the top 10. Mikey Rush making moves. He gets around Bromley.
Throws an elbow on Dan Bromley, says, get out of the way. I'm going to third. Got to run down Ryan Wells for second.
Well, we knew on the short track we'd see passing and maybe even some contact, and that's exactly what has happened. Rush is not messing around. He had the bad start. Has to make passes in bunches. He's doing it. Let's see if Wells on the 94 can hold him off. And a struggle here for Texter, who has drifted outside of the top 10 now. She said earlier it would be a muscle track. That's not her specialty. And more riders going by, so that's going to hurt her in the series standings. Wells doing everything he can to hold off Rush, who is on a rail to the front. Here he goes.
Mikey Rush throws it into turn 3. Uses Ryan Wells up, says, I'm going to second. He's got a long way to go to try to catch Dalton Gauthier, though.
Man, I didn't think there was room. He just made it happen. Let's see if Wells or Bromley can get him back, or is Rush going to try to make a run on your leader, Gauthier, who you don't even see. The 122 has checked out early, but we're only halfway through this one. Wait a minute. Wheeling caution lights are on. This is going to change things in a hurry. We must have had a crash back here, and that means we're going to head to a restart. Kevin Stallings, won races in this championship before, is down. I hope he's okay. Meanwhile, Gauthier's lead will be gone because of the restart. Stallings up and okay. They got the bike upright. All right, so he is shaken, but as I'd like to say, not stirred. Looks like he even wants to maybe get back on the motorcycle. Gauthier's lead is gone. This is where he got it, though, with the great start, AJ.
The whole shot there, he was shot out of a cannon. This is so important on a racetrack like this to be able to take the lead into turn 1 for so many reasons. We see how tight it is behind him, riders bouncing off each other, but more importantly, that clean vision.
Oh, he nailed the timing there, and yeah, that visor lens stays clean throughout the next 8 laps because of this start. I'm amazed not only the start, though, but how quickly he pulled away. He had some fast times.
Yeah, that Husqvarna has got so much traction off the corners and on these starts here, but this restart going to be just as critical.
So it's a staggered restart. Rush, Wells, Bromley right behind him. His lead is gone as far as the gap is concerned. Wells with a nice run around the outside to try to get Rush for second.
Gauthier with another great start here off of turn 2. Stretched a couple of bike lengths going into turn 3.
Oh, but he goes way wide. And just like that, Mikey Rush is into the #1 spot. Will that high line work on the exit? No. Oh, maybe it will as we head into turn 1.
Dalton Gauthier sends it into turn 1. Mikey Rush back to second again. Dalton Gauthier's been so strong in turns 1 and 2, but struggling into turn 3.
I don't know if this high line's gonna work. Oh, great to see 2 riders that are battling for the points lead and the race lead and getting this close. And as they battle, Bromley is in contention as well in third. He's on the extreme low line while these guys are doing everything they can to take the lead from each other. Wow.
Dalton Gauthier working so hard, they actually touched front tire to rear tire there. But Mikey Rush so strong off turn 4. Dalton Gauthier searching around different lines, trying to find a way to run down Mikey Rush.
Oh, man, this is good racing. I want to see the strategy here from Gauthier. Will he continue to use the high line into turn 3? He does.
Goes to the outside there, trying to find something that works, but he loses so much time up top in 3 and 4. Mikey Rush stretching out a couple of bike lengths each lap.
Change for third. Andrew Luker on the #11 Kawasaki getting around Bromley. Got Maxwell on another Kawasaki right behind him. That's going to push Ryan Wells back. This is a critical juncture. Can Gauthier keep Rush in sight and mount another attack?
Bromley wide in turn 3 there, back to 5th. But we see Dalton Gauthier trying to find a way to learn from the lines that Mikey Rush has been running, trying to track him down.
Gap's about stabilized now. Gauthier not out of it. He goes back to the high line.
Coming 2 laps to go. Dalton Gautier's lost a ton of time. Mikey Rush, this is his race to lose.
And this could be back-to-back wins for Rush. First on a big mile and then on a short track. That would be huge. So Gauthier is going to do everything he can to try to prevent a 2-race win streak. It'd probably be the points lead for Rush as well. Gauthier working the low line. Wait a minute. We have a crash. Oh, Chad Coase, who had such a great race going, has gone down. And the 88, who you saw was so pumped just to make the main event, that's Matthew Beland. And Rush is bummed because with the restart coming, that would have potentially been a race win right there. And no, he's going to have to re-rack it and hold them off again. Looks like Beland and Coase are okay, and we are set for a dramatic 5-lap showdown at the end. New life for the 122 at Gautier to try to keep Mikey Rush in sight as the other riders get re-racked and ready to race again. We are ready for one final restart here at the Laconia short track presented by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. We thought Mikey Rush had a victory en route of the number 15 Honda. No, with a late race restart, 122 of Dalton Gautier, even 11 of Luker, they've got a shot at it. Here we go. And another great hole shot using the outside line. Gautier trying to take the lead.
Gautier knows he's probably got one chance to get around Mikey Rush and make it happen. It's on this restart. Into turn 3. He goes and follows Mikey Rush the same line to see if he can get off the corner and run with him.
He had been using the high line in this race most of the time. Rush getting away. Look at Max Whale, the Australian in the 18, going low and trying to take second from Gautier.
Mikey Rush already starting to check out again. Dalton Gautier might be in a battle now just to hold on to the podium.
Pressure situation as it tightens up, second, third, fourth. Bromley's in there, Wells, Luker on the number 11. By the way, you see the ticker at the top. It's going to be a 17-lap race now. We added time with a 5-lap restart. Andrew Luker almost goes down and then goes wide. Ryan Wells gets around him.
Mikey Rush clear and setting sail right now. The battle is now for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Well, good job by Rush to shrug off the pressure of the late race restart and pull away again. Gautier's got to hold off Max Whale.
Whale using that inside line as Dalton Gautier keeps it high and the throttle down and pinned off of turn 2 here. He's going to go low into turn 3.
One of the best runs we've ever seen in AFT from the young Australian Whale. Can he turn a third into a second? That would be huge for the championship points. Gautier's got to try to hold him off. He's using the high line again. He's been using that the majority of the race. He's able to close it back down. Meanwhile, checkered flag in sight. Mikey Rush wins a mile at our last race, and he's going to make it back-to-back by winning in a short track. That's how you build a championship scenario. He wins and takes the points lead. Gautier, consistent as usual, finishes up in second. And how about Max Whale on the podium? Ride a cowboy. Mikey Rush is pumped. The Richie Morris Racing Honda man takes the win. Max Whale on the box. But Rush has got a lot to celebrate. He had to work for that one. Although Gautier did have a nice lead built up before the first restart. Probably going to think this has one that potentially got away. I thought Bromley had a shot at it, but he ends up 5th. Not what last year's champ wants. There's your entire field. Let's send it to Kristen with the winner.
Back-to-back wins for Mikey Rush and the Richie Morris Racing Team. Mikey, this marks now your second singles win in American Flat Track. For you, at this race, you had told me that it reminded you of where your roots are in racing, in the motocross style tracks, in a track that's in continuity is actually comfortable for you. How much did that play into your win tonight?
I played a lot into it, I think. The track got pretty brutal tonight, which I love the rough stuff, man, so it doesn't faze me at all. But my CRF 450 was just on point tonight. My whole team did a great job. Big thanks to all our sponsors, American Honda, Al Lam Honda, just everyone. Everyone's doing a great job, and we're having a lot of fun, and I hope this keeps going, for sure.
So now Rush and Gautier go to the top 2 spots.
Yeah, Rush leading by 10 over Gautier. That confidence, 2 in a row. It's going to be tough to stop Mikey Rush the rest of this season.
Let's see what Dalton has to say about it.
I'm super bummed. We had a 3-second lead before the red flag, but you know, it's racing, and we have a lot of races left, so I'm not gonna cry about it or nothing. I'm just gonna work harder and try and get another win here soon. I'm really feeding for another win, and really want to bring my team a win. And yeah, I'm just stoked about how the day went and staying consistent.
And a celebration there, Brett Whale hugging his son Max, putting it on the podium on Father's Day weekend. Well done, son. So our podium is complete in the AFT singles class. That was a great race.
It was an awesome race. Now we switch to the twins bike. This racetrack getting rough, getting choppy. Gonna be a tough 25 laps for these riders.
Well, how's the champ, Jared Mees, gonna try to tame this track? We'll talk to him when we return. American Flat Track on NBCSN is brought to you by Indian Motorcycle. Be legendary. By Vance & Hines, the presenting sponsor of AFT Twins. By American Flat Tracker Clothing Company, Find your groove at AmericanFlatTracker.com. Really awesome to have the Honda Talon involved with American Flat Track now. People get to take some rides, and also it's really an integral part of the track prep to get it out here, help groom in some lines. Doesn't that look like fun? I gotta get out there and try this. So let's go to Dunlop Tire Talk. As always, 2 different compounds the riders can choose from.
Easy choice for the riders. The R5 softer compound, looking for maximum traction here at the Laconia short track. Trying to do everything they can. They haven't seen a lot of tire wear, so it's an easy choice for this 25-lap main.
Been awesome racing in our singles division and in qualifying for twins. We'll see how that turns out with our main event. Our last race was spectacular as well. Jared Mees, key run here, drafting past Briar Bauman to win in Kentucky and get his season back on track. And a chance to talk to Jared about his life on and off the racetrack.
The best part about my Ford Ranger is 2 more payments, it's all mine. Fancy cars don't do it for me, a deal does it for me. Hi, I'm Jared Mees, and I'm the champ. I call Florida home, but I still come up to Clio, Michigan during the summer months. I got a good training regimen up here and got to see some of the family and friends, so I still come back in the summer to hang out. Oh, thank you. Life around my house is pretty structured, actually. I have a little girl, Hayden, who just turned 2, and an awesome wife, Nicole. And our life's busy, but it's basically structured just around racing. What's up, guys? Welcome to my shop. This is where the magic happens. A lot of time spent here in preparing race bikes, practice bikes, bicycling, working out, you name it. Here we got my helmets. A lot of memories with these helmets, actually. Amateur days all the way up to the pro days. I got my bicycles here. Motocross bike, motocross station. Let's go check out my gym. Here's my gym. It's real convenient to be able to work out. I got a few pieces in here, but I got the pieces I feel I need to win the races every weekend. This is my favorite part. Lots of memories here with all my race bikes. I got my very first Rotex when I was 13 years old. The way I look at it, I got my blood, I got my sweat, and I got my tears all in one. Training is all about what you put in is what you get out. I'm out there trying to physically condition my body so that when I get on the motorcycle, I can push from lap 1 all the way to lap 25 and not fall off pace. To be a champion, it's about getting down to the nitty-gritty. It's about digging deeper than the next guy, even when you already dug as deep as you could. Racing is all about being mentally tough.
Oh no! Jared Mees, what has happened? Gotta think it's a mechanical issue.
This season for me has obviously been a little bit tougher than the last 2 seasons. Starting off in Daytona, we basically had a goose egg there and started 23 points down with braking. So I've been kind of crawling my way back up, but it's not been easy because Briar's been so consistent.
Briar Bauman right now trying different lines, trying to find a way around Jared Mees.
I won 2019's championship just as bad as I won my first one. There's nothing different with my focus, my mentality, my mindset. It's the same as it's always been, and that's to go out there and win. I'm really looking forward to the competition. I think it's going to come down to the last race of the year. It's going to be a fun and exciting season.
Well, absolutely, Mees has built it up. He knows that this title is not going to be easy with Briar Bauman running up front all season, and on an all-new racetrack, we could have new contenders, maybe a first-time winner. Stay with us. The main event in the Twins is next. It's the Laconia short track presented by Russ Brown Motorcycle Attorneys. Twins riders are going to be dancing their way into the main event. Let's send it to Kristen.
After qualifying, Brad Baker said, I want him to be more conservative. He is not being so conservative. Of course, he was referring to Briar Bauman, our current points leader in the Twins class. Briar has a very deliberate strategy in place for this track, and it's reliant on the turns, but very hard to replicate, guys. Briar said at a track like this, you want to make the straights as long as possible and get speed out of the corner. You have to turn the bike in the middle of the corner. He said that it's called bending the bike. That's what happens when you see the rear kind of drift inward. It creates a good run, but it takes a lot of muscle to get the bike there every lap. Balancing consistency and finesse is the absolute dilemma tonight for Briar Bauman, guys.
Yeah, and you got to muscle it around for 25 laps. Sammy Halbert always aggressive, always quick on the short tracks. And Breyer's brother, Bronson, starting fourth in the grade, has been quick in all the practice sessions and throughout qualifying. Here is your AFT Twins starting lineup. I don't even know. Carver, he was good too. I don't know who to pick in this one.
Henry Wiles has been strong all night, won his semi. This is what a short track's all about, different riders coming to the front.
So again, it's 25 laps for 17 riders. Once that card goes sideways, the rider's gonna focus down on that starting line. The start, oh so critical at a short track. Let's see who takes it tonight. Bauman out of the middle, but also a good jump on the outside by Halbert. But sliding underneath is Henry Wiles in the 17. No, Bronson Bauman holds on.
Bronson gets that drive off turn 2, leads it into turn 3. Henry Wiles right there. We got a battle for third and fourth.
That was close. Right along the front was Wiles. Bauman able to take the lead.
Talk about it all night, that clean vision. Oh, so important. Bronson Bauman attacking this racetrack.
And finally, we see the 1 of Mees on the radar. So your 2 title contenders early this season, the 14 and the 1 are pretty far back. They've been shuffled. Wiles and Bronson Bauman going at it for the lead. Also the 23 of Carver's in contention. And everyone has slowed up. I believe they had a crash and the wheeling caution lights are on. That is Winkler down on the 135. I think he's shaken up, but okay. We're going to revert back to the previous lap scoring, so that should put Bronson Bauman back ahead of the 17 of Wiles on the restart. There's Dalton Winkler. Yes, he is okay. Good to see that. And we're going to show you the start again.
On board here with Bronson Bauman on the Indian motorcycle. The whole shot, so important. Gets into turn 1, gets clean off turn 2. You can see behind him. Look at how tight it is. Riders bouncing elbows off each other.
And Bronson out front, but a strong challenge from the 17 of Wiles, and we're going to restart it, and these two are going to go at it again. The 23 of Carver going to try to make a move on the high line on the 17. Wiles, whoa! How about Hayden? Good to see him in a main event. Roger Hayden coming out of retirement, battling his way past Jared Mees. Wait a minute, Hayden could be a contender here. Awesome to see in the Yamaha. Oh, and now Bauman and Wiles have hooked up in another great duel, but Carver right behind him. Loving the racing here on this short track.
Bronson Bauman, Henry Wiles starting to stretch it out. The battle here for the lead. You got the 14 bike, Breyer Bauman up to third.
I don't know where that came from. Breyer Bauman, your points leader. We didn't see much of him early. He has rallied. So the brothers are now first and third. But Henry Wiles, great on the TTs. That's where he built his name, but he is no slouch on the short tracks. He wants to win tonight. Meanwhile, not going the way that Jared Mees with the number 1 wants it.
Jared Mees there, right on the edge of the top 10, running 8th. Meanwhile, Bronson Bauman off turn 4, leading this race. Top 3, now starting to stretch it out over Sammy Halbert in 4th.
Breyer has caught them now. It's a 3-rider duel for the lead, and it's what Breyer Bauman has done all season long, regardless how the race starts or what type of track we're on. He finds his way into the podium, running positions. Only 1 win, though, thus far this year at our opener at Daytona. Tonight could be the night to get win number 2. But he's going to have to beat his brother to do it. Bronson's on the gas.
Look at how hard these riders are trying. Bikes bouncing around. This is so physical on the riders right now. It's a short track, but it might be one of the most physical racetracks they race at all year.
Sammy Halbert, great battle for 4th with Jeffrey Carver. He puts the Harley in front now in that position. Carver coming right back.
Gets that diamond shot off the corner. Takes over 4th into turn 1. Sammy Halbert back to 5th. You got Brian Smith 6th.
Yeah, Brian Smith in the Crosley-Howerton bike. Always fast in the miles, showing he can get it done at the short track as well. He's right in this fight with the 23 of Carver, the 69 of Halbert, and now the Estenson Yamaha, number 5. Johnson, that was close.
Top 4 through 8 right here. 4th, oh, the wheeling caution lights are out again. Winkler down one more time.
Oh, Dalton Winkler, it is a rough main event for him. I hope he's okay this time. He was able to get up on the first restart. So it's going to be another restart, though, for Bauman and Wiles to scrap it out again. Let's watch this battle for 4th again.
You see Halbert here get back under Jeffrey Carver, but Carver gets that shot off the corner. Going to get down here into turn 3. Clears him. Halbert tries to do the same thing, turn back under him. You see Jake Johnson back there, Brian Smith. Such tight racing here at Laconia.
And we might have tight racing like that up front, but wait a minute. Halbert having trouble getting the bike refired for the restart.
2 races in a row. Last week, he had the same issue. Couldn't get the bike restarted. Looks like it's going to be another DNF for Sammy Halbert.
Man, he has been fast this year, but has not been able to show it with results. We're underway again. Bronson Bauman, Henry Wiles still 1-2, still duking it out. But you got to watch for Briar Bauman. Now he's trying to make moves, and a mistake by Wiles. The brothers are now 1-2.
Wiles gets into turn 1 there. Looks like he caught a rut. Got the bike out of shape. He's back to third. We got a brother battle. This time, the younger brother, Bronson Bauman, leads his older brother, Briar.
Now, Bronson Bauman has never won an American Flat Track main event. The brothers did go 1-2 at a race last year, but the order was reversed. Briar took the win. Bronson was second. Bronson going to try to hold on. Meanwhile, Wiles, how has he been able to escape the jaws of this pack behind him? Now it's Jake Johnson putting the heat on. Johnson's passed everybody else, so he might as well take third also.
Henry Wiles can't escape Jake Johnson. Jake up to third. Does he have anything for the brothers?
Wiles trying to come back on him, and he does to retake third. Carver is still in the fight. Oh, that is so close, headed down to turn 1.
This is amazing racing. Jake Johnson was looking to go take down the top 2. Now he's back to fourth again.
Fantastic action here, but it's the brothers Bauman trying to get away and make it a private duel up front. Great racing here between the brothers Bauman. Bronson and Briar leading an American Flat Track here in New Hampshire. They've pulled away from everybody else, so now the question is, what will be the order? Can Briar get around his younger brother?
You can see Bronson riding the bike so straight. 7 laps to go to try to win your first AFT Twins event. Can he stay smooth? Jared Mees, though, struggling, running 8th. Can't find any speed in this racetrack.
The man that won the last race and the man who's won the last 2 titles in dominant fashion. Every time we think he's about to uncork a win streak, can't quite make it happen. Meanwhile, the Bauman brothers just keeps getting closer and closer as the laps click off.
You can see Bronson holding his factory Indian motorcycle so tight into the corners, not giving his brother Briar any chance to get to the inside. We see Henry Wiles here doing everything he can to make up the gap. But Jason, I ask you, if Bronson's holding the inside so tight, how does Briar get around him?
Yeah, how aggressive will he get with his brother and his teammate? But he can't mess around too much because Wiles from third has caught them. So it might not be a private duel any longer. How much patience will Briar have with his brother?
You can see Bronson in the corner so deep, trying to get the bike stop, holding the inside.
5 to go. Briar's on the inside again, a little bit further. I don't know. He didn't go for the full contact there. But he's going to have to. Wiles is right there behind him. And, of course, championship points, race wins, bonuses, the whole kitchen sink. He's going to have to throw at his brother, or will he not do it?
Briar so quick in the middle of the corner, but Bronson's so tight. Getting into turn 1 here. Oh, Bronson got in a little too deep. Briar's opportunity. He's by him.
That's the mistake he needed. Briar's going to fight to the inside, but now the wheeling caution lights are on. Henry Wiles, our third-place rider, has crashed. There's his bike down. So with the caution lights out, will we revert back to the previous lap? Bronson, yes, they are going to. Bronson Bauman will be back in the lead. There is Wiles. He's disappointed. He at least had a podium. An outside shot at second or third. We can see it here with Briar's on board.
We see Henry getting down in the corner here. He's a little wide, hits a rut, back end steps out. But as he tries to throttle up there, the back of the bike steps out, and he goes down.
And Briar had finally made the move on Bronson, but it will revert back. So Bronson will be in the lead. Wiles is back up. He'll be at the back. Oh, Jared Mees. More trouble for him. It has been a very difficult main event. I think he's trying to bump start the motorcycle. He's trying to bump start it. It didn't work. And he cannot come back in. They can't get the bike fired. This is a disaster for Mees in the points. So Briar Bauman's going to make even more ground up. He's going to further pull away in the standings, but can he get the win? To do it, he has to get around his brother. There is Mees, headed back to the pits.
The question is now, how aggressive are you going to be, Briar? Are you going to throw it in on your brother, on your teammate for the win, knowing that Your championship rival is now going to finish last place and get no points for that.
So Breyer could get max points if he can make the move on Breyer. Meanwhile, the 20 of Jared Vanderkoy in the Harley-Davidson, and now it's Jake Johnson in third. It keeps shuffling third, fourth, fifth. Vanderkoy's got a shot at the podium if he can make the move in the number 5. Can't make it happen.
3 to go here. Bronson doing everything he can. His first career win on the line. Oh, he's a little wide there. Can Breyer turn under him? No, can't get him yet.
So you're saying it was a mistake where he coughed up the lead the first time, they reverted back, but maybe that's the difference? He's got to stay error-free?
I really think Breyer's quicker than him, but he needs to find a way around him. Bronson, knowing that he made the mistake, 2 to go here. He can't open the inside for his brother.
So critical, and he does not. He keeps the 37 down low. Breyer, how desperate will he get? Will he try the high line? Will he try contact? Is he just going to hope for another mistake? Vanderkoy and Johnson, the Yamaha and the Harley, still fighting for third and fourth. White flag coming out. Bronson Bauman 1 lap away from his first ever win.
Oh, he hits a huge rut into turn 1, but he gets that Indian bike slowed down. Hits another rut off of turn 2. Breyer's got an opportunity to get him, but he looks behind him, saving it.
Turns 3 and 4. I don't think Breyer's gonna run it in on him. Bronson Bauman can see the checkered flag. He's got it. First ever win in American flat track for the younger Bauman brother over Breyer. And in third place, good run, by the way, for Johnson. Vanderkoy's happy with a 4th. They're all happy when you see a first-time winner in American flat track.
This is what I love about AFT. You can see the riders knowing how important it is to win your first career twins race.
Maybe Breyer made it a little easy on him. He did not run the wheels in on him in those final 3 laps when he was close. Jared Mees, 15th. The bike stalled. He couldn't get back for the restart. That is huge in the series standings. Here's the Motul move of the race. It's the last restart.
Bronson gets a great restart, knowing that just before that, probably saved because of the wheel and caution lights, able to go out there, get that restart, hold off his brother for 4 laps, win his first race.
Kristen's with the winner.
Bronson Bauman with his first American flat track twins win. Obviously so excited, and this is a big weekend. It's Father's Day weekend. Your dad was able to watch you finish first, your brother finished second. The last time you guys shared a podium was last year in Williams Grove, but Breyer had the win. This time you held him off. How good does it feel to now take your first win, and how were you able to stay aboard that entire race while so many riders were coming out of the race, and how did you stay confident?
You know, first of all, for my dad, Father's Day couldn't be better. To stay ahead of Breyer, this Indian had perfect starts all night. I can't believe it. Cletus had it tuned to perfection. The big thing was the starts, and honestly, my brother was very nice. I'm sure there's a few times he could have put it in on me, and he is very generous. I can't believe I just won my first national. Alex, I love you and I miss you. I wish you were here, but man, it feels good. Thank you, Indian and everyone enough.
Unbelievable. The Bauman brothers go 1-2. This time it's Bronson taking the win. And there's the hug for Dad on a Father's Day weekend. He's one happy papa. American Flat Track on NBCSN is brought to you by Vance & Hines, the presenting sponsor of AFT Twins. By Roof Systems of Dallas, Texas, the entitlement sponsor of AFT Singles. And by American Flat Tracker Clothing Company. Find your groove at AmericanFlatTracker.com. Sunoco Go the Distance Award standings total up all the miles ridden in practice qualifying and racing this year. Breyer Bauman on top there. Also on top of the AFT Twins presented by Vance & Hines class standings.
It was 19 over Jared Mees, now 34 over Brandon Robinson, 35 over Jared Mees. Jared now 2 DNFs. He has a lot to recover from.
Here's Breyer on the podium with Kristen.
Breyer, you exampled a lot of patience in that race, and I'm curious if it were anyone else in front of you, would you have been more aggressive?
Maybe a little bit. There wasn't a lot of room for error on this racetrack tonight. I didn't really have a whole lot of room. I finally found a spot I knew I was going to do it for sure, and I did it, and then we had a red flag, so maybe I could have got a little bit risky, but we're also at the big picture here, and man, I'm so proud of him. He's put a lot into this. He's last year he was racing out of his van, and it's just there's a lot of good stuff going on right now.
All smiles, a few tears right here from Briar Bauman. Now, Briar, I don't mean to distract you, but something that you've been a little apprehensive to even talk about is your wrist injury. Were you even thinking about that during the race? And right now, how is it feeling? How's your health?
Health, we've been better for sure. There's a lot of stuff going on right now that I'm just trying to grind. So, yeah, I wasn't thinking about it out there. I was thinking about the win and just points and a racing motorcycle. We've been down before. We've been through it, and we're just gonna keep going.
Shout out to our third place finisher, Jake Johnson. Lima will be our next race. We'll have it on TV July 6th. This was some amazing action tonight.
A special night for the Bauman family. Bronson, first career win. Briar, second. On Father's Day weekend, I was fortunate enough, I won with my dad on Father's Day weekend. Awesome night.
For AJ Allmendinger and Kristen Beat, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching AFT from New Hampshire.